Morning, and thank you so much for coming on board. Let's talk about your performance for the quarter gone by. Q4 is typically a very strong quarter when it comes to the automobile sector, but the picture this time was very different. How much has the domestic slowdown firstly affected your performance this time around, and has the entire sluggishness now been factored in when it comes to your Q4 performance, or is there more pain expected with the lag in the coming quarters as well?
One cannot really guess what's going to happen in the next quarter, the next quarter on the domestic side, but I think we have all the ingredients which are telling us that yes, people are choosing the right car for themselves and right mode of vehicle for themselves. So we will follow whatever the market demands, and Motherson is only a OEM supplier, so we will react to as what the market will be. We will react to that.
Okay. Hi, Mrs. Sehgal. This is Mubina as well joining into the conversation. You know, several OEMs, many of which are your clients, have trimmed their production in the quarter gone by. What's the impact that Motherson Sumi felt on account of that?
Definitely, it affects our standalone numbers if there is cutting down by our customers. But really very difficult to analyze and tell you today, because which car model goes down, what happens, what's the reason, really very difficult to guess and present it to you. So we in Motherson, we just focus on what is the real situation, what the orders are coming from the customer. So we supply exactly that. And in the process, we of course try to do the best results possible.
Mrs. Sehgal, could you also throw some color that we are on the slowdown being witnessed in the global market, and of course, once again, its impact on your business, and would you say if it's structural or cyclical in nature?
Once again, very difficult to predict what the car market is going through and all that, but let's look at the facts. You know, the facts are that there is a rethinking on the environmental concerns, there are rethinking on the test procedures. There are so many things which are happening globally. So every country probably is looking at those particular challenges, and then the customers are coming up with their ways and means by which they are going to then solve those particular problems. However, these particular conditions also then create a lot of opportunity for a company like Motherson, because we can then go and pick up good assets and wait for the right time to come. Think about it. This year, our free cash flow is probably one of the highest ever. So in problems which are there for whichever country, whatever the particular issues are, we have to look for opportunities there to grow. Motherson's story always is about growing by content per car, and hence, you know, either if the market is good, we are good. If it's not so good, we're still good.
Mrs. Sehgal, since you bring up, you know, the issue of content per car, there's a lot of investor worry about low content growth on BS6 transition. Can you clarify on that? What is it that you know we can expect going forward as part of the transition to BS6 norms?
So I think what is important to understand is BS6, or when you're talking about other countries in the world, you have a lot of new models that are going to come in, because they're going to take over this WLTP issues and things like that. So all our brownfield and greenfield plants are going to be making the latest of the cars. So give us another 3-6 months and you see huge improvement in sales and everything, because you know, we are preparing those particular cars just now as we speak.
Okay, let's talk about the overarching theme of global slowdown in the auto space. Typically, how much time does it take the automobile industry and players like yourself to recover from this slowdown?
No, on the contrary, we are setting up, you know, we have set up 34 new plants in the last 4 years. And we are preparing for the next generation, because think about it, if you are not ready for the new this thing to come, then you would be in big trouble eventually. Our order book also displays the same this thing. You know, this is probably the highest order book that we've ever declared. It's 147,000 crores. So I think it's a way to prepare for the future. The future cars that are going to come are needing that much more expertise. They have to be lighter, they have to be stronger. You know, everything has to be taken into consideration. And Motherson winning new orders is telling you that, you know, we are in the right place at the right time.
Okay, Mr. Sehgal, investors are increasingly concerned about the slow ramp-up of SMP's new plants, leading to low conviction on the margin performance by that unit. So what's the progress on that front, and when can we see these plants, you know, meaningfully start contributing to growth?
Well, I think one of the biggest constituents of the order book is SMP. So 4 new plants are at this particular moment, so 3 new plants and 1 brownfield plant are involved in this whole particular thing. Yes, we know that the startup costs and the other things that we are facing are a little bit on the higher side, and maybe for the next quarter or the quarter or two after that, it could be in the similar situation. But think about it, the number of production that we are doing over there is going to more than double in the next 3 months. So you know, it's about putting a huge plant, the biggest plant in our group, to order, to put every thing absolutely perfect. Sometimes you have challenges. Our people are looking at that and making sure that it would be ready, and to the satisfaction of all the shareholders and the stakeholders.
Okay. You know, despite your optimism and robust outlook, the fact is that large fund houses are exiting your stock, to put it very bluntly, and many of them have actually slashed their targets as well on slowdown worries. So at a time like this, what's the message you'd like to give investors? Why should one stay invested in Motherson Sumi?
Really, yeah, definitely the market caps and all these things are coming down globally on everything. But I think you have to look at the company's nature, what it does, and how does it perform. And I think the rest is why somebody is exiting or why somebody is entering. Really, I can't answer that question. But I remember very well that when we took over SMR in 2009, the share price of Motherson had come down to 38 rupees. So we've been there. We've never sold at that time. We're not going to sell today either. So we are absolutely fine. Very conscious of the decision that we are taking, and preparing for the future, because people have to understand that there is a huge shift in the mindset of the people globally, the government especially, where they are wanting to change over. The changeover means there is going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be some things which are the older, the models which are not selling very well have to die out. So the numbers have to be, you have to deep dive into the numbers to understand what is not selling and what is selling. So I think just the fact that Motherson has so many new plants that are coming up is basically because we are preparing for the future. So I think 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years is too small a period to really look at what the company's performance will be. But we are very sure that everything is going to be absolutely fine. Once the new models, the new cars, the new looks come about, it's going to change the entire thinking of the people.
All right, Mr. Sehgal, great chatting with you. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing with us your future plans and what transpired in the last quarter.